All right, let's see how you did. Starting with this first rectangular prism. Hopefully you started with the formula, volume equals length times width times height. You want to keep your notes and your work very nice and organized. So length times width times height. And then your next step is to replace those variables, those letters, with the numbers. So I can call 7 the length. Some of you might have called that the width. That is okay. I'm going to call 2 the width, and then I will call 5 the height. So remember, those are interchangeable because we are multiplying, and multiplying can be done in any order. So now to replace, I'm going to replace the L with the 7. I'm going to replace the W with the 2, and I'm going to replace the H with the 5. And let's see if your calculation was correct. So I could do 7 times 2, get 14, and then multiply by 5. But I actually think it's easier to do the 2 times 5 first because I can use mental math. 2 times 5 is 10, and then 10 times 7 is 70. So the volume of this prism, the answer is 70 cubic centimeters. Check your work right now that you have this label on your answer, and if not, please add that now. Okay, moving on to the second problem. We have another rectangular prism. So we start with the formula, volume equals length times width times height. I'm going to use the dot for my multiplication symbol this time. 5, I'm going to say is the length, 4 is the width, and then 3 is our height. So let me plug in my numbers. 5 times 4 times 3. Oops. Okay, so if I'm going to do my math, I think it's pretty easy just to solve this left to right. 5 times 4 is 20, and then 20 times 3, 20, 40, 60. The answer is 60 cubic centimeters. Hopefully you are doing okay with these problems. The last one was probably the trickiest because just looking at the numbers, they are bigger. However, the process is the same. You always want to start with the formula. So please, please, please don't get lazy with that. You might think, oh, I'm just going to multiply the 3 numbers. Yes, that is what you're doing. But remember, you're going to be in middle school next year. When you get to 7th grade, you're going to be finding volume of triangular prisms and pyramids, and it won't be length times width times height. You'll have new formulas to learn and memorize and use to calculate and solve problems. So if you start with the formula first, I promise the work will be easier and you will be more successful. So length, I'm going to replace with 11. So if you did, I'm just showing you that it doesn't matter. I could call this the length because if you think about it, I could take this rectangular prism and flip it on this side. So I could call this the length and this the width and this the height if I wanted to. If you called 19 the length, that's okay. So the order of your numbers might not be the same as mine, but our answer should be the same. And then I'm going to say the height is 14. So you might have written yours as 19 times 14 times 11. So I'm going to start with 11 times 19. That is not something we can easily do in our head. So on your paper, you should have taken the time to do the math on your own. So 11 times 19 is 209. So let me write that down so we can keep up with our work. So 209. So I still have to take that and multiply by 14. Again, I can't do that math in my head. So I would come off to the side. I'm running out of space, but I would set up my multiplication problem. I like to use this standard or the traditional way of multiplying. So I would set up my problem like this and do my math. So 9 times 4 is 36. I carry the 3. Oops, it's not really. 0 times 4, I'm multiplying across like this. 0 times 4 is 0, plus 3 is 3. 4 times 2 is 8. Be careful because my L is kind of getting in the way there. When I go down to the second row, I need to put my 0 as my placeholder. And then I'm basically multiplying 209 by 1. So 1 times 9 is 9. That's a 9. 1 times 0 is 0. And 1 times 2 is 2. So now I can do my final step, which is add. So 6 plus 0 is 6. 9 plus 3 is 12. Carry the 1. 8 plus 1 is 9. And then 2 plus 0 is 2. So look how big our answer is. The volume of this prism is 2,926. So check your paper. Whoa, that's big too. Sorry about that. Check your paper and see if that's the answer you got. And if you didn't, maybe you made a calculation error. So double check that. So 2,926 cubic inches is the volume of the last problem. So now you should take a picture of your notes. They should look similar to mine. Upload it to your last slide right here, and then go into Google Classroom where you will find your exit ticket. Okay, it is 5 problems today, so they are 20 points apiece. So please take the time to show your work for that on another piece of paper. Okay, don't try to do all of the math in your head. Okay, so good luck on that, guys. I know you're going to do great. Bye.